You're hanging with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Hey, you know what? There's another name you might know me by. Star-Lord.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
Who? Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Josh Hennig hanging out with you, of course, on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle. And we are streaming always on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig in the Dr. Squatch Virtual Studios. ESPN SportsCenter 50 in 50 days. They are today in New Jersey. Yes, the tour has finally reached the Garden State. And we're going to talk now with a man who is familiar with the New Jersey area because of his own sports fandom. He is SportsCenter Anchor and legal analyst for ESPN, Ryan Smith. Of course, you've seen him on not just SportsCenter, but Get Up, filling in there as well on ESPN television. He joins us right now on 97.3 ESPN. Ryan, welcome in. How you doing today?
Josh, I'm doing great. I'm in the car. I'm right around Nyack. I'm headed to Central Jersey. So what beats today? I'm on my way.
You're on your way. So I got to ask you first and foremost, because SportsCenter in 50 in 50 days. Like, can you give the audience a little behind the scenes about how does that conversation go? Does it does a producer come to you and say, "Hey Ryan, you're assigned to New Jersey," or is it a conversation where "Hey Ryan, would you like to do one of these states?" How does that conversation even go?
Well, after I assumed they picked the people who were going to Hawaii, and I wasn't one of them, then they started saying, let's split up the rest of the states. The funny thing is, they asked me, and the biggest thing we do is we talk about when we're going to be away, because it's always during the summer. So we all had to figure that out. And then they just start telling us, hey, you want to go here? You want to do this? You want to do that? I picked Jersey. I lived in Montclair for a little bit. I was happy to do it. I know some people wanted to go far out, different places. I like that too, but it's I've spent a lot of time in New Jersey, and I kind of grew up liking things in Jersey. So I was great. And plus, I live in Connecticut. I live in Westport. So it's jump in a car, come on down. It's perfect for me. So basically, we are, I think it's a little bit of a mix. They ask you a little bit, what do you think you like? Where you want to go? But it's also a little bit of, hey, you're going here. It's a little bit both of them. If you said no, I guess you don't have to go. But I didn't say no. I love being here.
Well, I would also say I remember watching. I think it was a keynote speech you were doing a couple of years ago. You were telling the audience to always say yes, and I think that's it's kind of the theme of your career, right? Because for those who don't know, as a kid, you wanted to be a sportscaster, but then you got into the legal profession, and then your life kind of came full circle. So it's kind of ironic that you saying yes to doing this is kind of on brand for your entire life, right?
Dude, first of all, that's great that you even know that and saw that. But yeah, it's true. The only time I don't say yes is if I've already committed to something with my family. But honestly, it's just the way to go, man. First of all, I'd say this. Josh, we're working in sports, man. We're working in sports. It's of all the things that people have to do that are really difficult, this isn't one of them. This is what we love to do. So when somebody says, hey, you're going to go to Jersey and you're going to hang out on a baseball field and throw out the first pitch and all, come on. You got me on, hey, you're going to go hang out on a baseball field. I'm in. And the other thing is, for me, opportunity comes with yes. So if you're saying yes to things, then who knows what follows. If you're saying no, then you never know what's going to happen. So for me, this is not only on brand, it's kind of how I live my life, especially professionally, and especially when you're doing something that you love, man. I love doing this work. I love going on location, talking to people, and I love anything sports. So this is right up my alley, man.
Ryan Smith, SportsCenter Anchor, joining us here on 97.3 ESPN, hanging with Hennig, streaming live on the YouTube and X platforms as well at Josh Hennig. Ryan, you mentioned New Jersey, 50 in 50 days. New Jersey, the home of the first ever professional baseball game. So where you are going to be today, tell folks a little bit about what you guys got going on today with SportsCenter 50 for 50.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that, because one of the things with 50 for 50 is 50 and 50 is we try to kind of identify what's unique about each state. And when they came out with Jersey, the first thing I thought was like, Sprenos, there's so many things we could do. But we all talked about how the first baseball game was played here. So I'm going to go to Somerset, New Jersey, to the Somerset Patriots game. Now, they're doing something really interesting today. There's a really cool team, and I'm sure you know, minor league teams, they do marketing better than anybody. And one thing they do, and they're doing today, is they're not changing their name, but they're adopting an alter ego. And their alter ego is going to be called the Diners. So they're going to outfit themselves as the Diners because obviously New Jersey, in addition to being famous for having the first baseball game and so many other things, is all the great diners in Jersey. Trust me, in Connecticut, we don't hold the candle to Jersey diners. So tonight, the Somerset Patriots are going to be the Somerset Diners. And so I'm going there. I'm going to be on the field. I'm going to talk to some of the guys. I hope to not 50 Cent my first pitch that I throw out tonight. And then I'm going to sit down, try a bunch of diner food because they're serving up a bunch of diner food tonight. So basically for me, it's like exploring everything Jersey that is baseball and getting to eat amazing food. So this is a fantastic assignment. I mean, my co-anchors, other people I've seen, they've had to rough it in the mountains and all that. Not, let's go to a baseball game, hit grounders, and eat. That's perfect. I love it.
I will recommend to you, Ryan, as a washed-up high school baseball player, the key to not bouncing the ball at the plate is to release the ball before it crosses the plane of your head.
Release before I cross the plane of my head. You know what? I remember that from being younger. Can I tell you, Josh, the funniest thing? I had thrown a pitch in like 20-some years, and I was like, wait, what am I supposed to do again? And I remember getting my foot in front. I remember rocking back. I remember all of it. But it's like, that's a great point. Now, will I listen and do it? That's another question. But I like the advice. I'm with it, man. Okay. I've heard a bunch of advice. Actually, the guy I anchored with yesterday, Arda Okal, he threw out the first pitch at a Savannah Bananas type of game, and he told me he, like, bounced it up there. So he's like, as long as you don't do that, you can come back and work. So my pride is on the line, man.
Well, Ryan, listen, as you understand because of all the work you've done, because I also work as a producer here at 97.3 ESPN. So, the producer's job is to help, the person on the microphone in front of the camera be successful. So I'm just trying to help you be successful, okay?
Yeah, man. Although they can't help me throw the ball, or though maybe I can, they can pretend to be me, throw it. If they blow it up, I can act like it wasn't me. We got to figure that out. One way or another, it's got to get to the catcher. I mean, can I ask you this, Josh? What makes it so hard to throw out the first pitch? Like, I can throw a pitch in a normal day.
Oh, it's easy. It's overthinking.
Yeah.
Ryan, I always tell people, as the world's foremost expert at overthinking, I can tell you that overthinking is the thing that probably stops us from being successful as much as we should be.
I love that. So you just gave me more to think about then. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. By the way, let's divert here because for those who don't know, Ryan, you grew up as a Philadelphia sports fan. You mentioned New Jersey. So I got to get your thoughts on, the state of some of these teams. So let's start with, you are in a building and a company where there's a lot of non-Philadelphia sports fans. Off the top of my head, I think it's basically you and Kevin Nagandi, like the only real, the only real two. So, is there a part of you that walks around like, you spend all this time, it's like, get up. It's like Jets, Lakers, right? On SportsCenter, it's Yankees, it's Chiefs. And then it's like, oh, and by the way, the Eagles have won their second Super Bowl in the last 8 years, just to let you know, right?
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. It's like they got to give me every Eagles highlight I do. Every time they come on the show, they got to – all these Giants fans and Jets fans talking trash all year. People were ripping us over Sirianni's going to get fired. That didn't happen, even though I was one of those people. Look, I'm not gonna lie, man. There were a couple times last year where I didn't know how I was going to go with the Eagles. So I was kind of like, what are we going to do? But I'll tell you what. Now I got my chest out. Now I get to do every Eagles feature. Now I get to brag on air openly. It's hilarious. And the funny thing is, these guys have to eat it all up. Every producer tries to work around it. It's like, hey, can we work at some Eagles here? Can we figure out a way to get the Eagles in the show? So, man, it's paradise. When you can have the best team that's not a New York team and you work at ESPN, your life is really good until the season begins next year. So right now, man, I'm on top of cloud nine. This is like perfect. Of course, you asked me about the best team right away. So the other three, it's like we go downhill from there, right?
Well, we'll get to those in a minute. But, we are in Philadelphia sports country down here in South Jersey. We are the Eagles affiliate here at the Shore, 97.3 ESPN. So what are Ryan Smith's expectations for the 2025 edition of the Eagles?
All right. Now, I know Philly fans are going to know this kind of feeling and attitude. But when we first of all, we won the championship game, I was in a state of shock. Like, there's just a part of me that always feels like the bottom's going to drop out with the Eagles. And then when we won the Super Bowl, I was in a state of shock. I'm actually still living in that state of shock. So my next year expectations is, can we just make the playoffs? Now, I know Eagles fans are listening to this and they're screaming at me, but just remember, I am born and raised in Philadelphia. All I know is loss. It's all I know. So it's 1 year, 2 Super Bowls in 8 years. It doesn't take it away from me. I still have it stuck all over me. So for me, I just want to make it to the playoffs, and I want to see where we go from there. Yes, I think we can win the Super Bowl again. Yes, we have the talent. Yes, we lost coaches, but it's okay. I mean, I think Sirianni, the plan is still there. Saquon's still there. Still got a great D. Still got Jalen. Everything's good. But the thing is, I'm still from Philadelphia. I still have to live with decades of loss. So for me, it's like we make the playoffs, I can breathe. That's where I'm. Plus, I don't want to jinx it, so I can't say anything about it. I can't even say that other word about the championship.
Well, that kind of gives me to my other point, because you mentioned about all the people you work with up there at ESPN. Ryan Smith joining us on his way to SportsCenter 50 and 50 days over in Somerset for the baseball game over there. You mentioned it. So who, and I'm saying this way because, as you know, Ryan, we are on radio, you're on television, so there's FCC things that we can't say in a certain way, but who gets more horse manure dumped on them that still surprises you? Is it surprising that it's Jalen Hurts or that it's Nick Sirianni?
Jalen Hurts. I feel like, look, Sirianni, you know what it is about Sirianni? Let me just say this. He's so Philly that he's too Philly. So it's like, in some ways, I feel as an Eagles fan, you look at him and it's like your friend is coaching, like some guy you grew up with. And you're like, should the guy I grew up with be coaching this team? You have that thought all the time. That's a compliment to Nick Sirianni, but it's also probably why he gets ripped so much. Jalen Hurts, he's not from our spot. So it's like he's actually good in real life all the time. He's not our friend. He's just an amazing quarterback. But every time he has a downturn, we rip him. And to me, it's like he gets dumped on all the time. And I don't get it. The guy, in my mind, is clearly a top 5 quarterback, not only because of the success he's had, but because of the way he's come up big in big games. And because he actually gets the numbers and he gets the job done and he implements a game plan. He works with his feet. Who else can get a first down whenever he gets it? And it's not just a tush push. You know what I mean? It's like, to me, we need to start including him in the conversation as a top 5 quarterback. And I know people are probably screaming at the radio, listening to you right now, but it's like he is in that conversation. What more do you need? It's like, he won 6 more Super Bowls and then he's still not in the conversation. People just can't find a way to get him around that conversation yet.
But Ryan,
this is his year.
I gotta say, isn't that the double standard of the world we live in? It's like, hey, we telling you got to get to this level of accomplishment, and then when you get there, we still don't appreciate you. It's like part of the world we live in. It's like, you get to a certain level. And it's like, yeah, but, and you're like, no. You told me to get to this level, and now you're telling me, yeah, but. Like, when did that come into the addendum?
And not only that, when do we start including winning and the ability to win, as difficult as we all know that is, in someone's greatness? Like, for example, I love Lamar Jackson. Obviously, he is a much better, more skilled quarterback than Jalen Hurts right now. At least I feel that way. But Jalen Hurts is Super Bowl, man. He's a winner. He's won a lot of games. And to me, it doesn't make him better than Lamar. It makes conversation. And I think for us, we can get caught up in like statistical numbers. We can get caught up in acrobatic plays. And then we start saying that's the barometer for what the best is. I think when you win and you excel in the stats and you excel as a teammate and you excel as a leader, what more does he need to do? Seriously. It's like throw for 6,000 yards. And then somebody else will find something to say about him. So, yeah, I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, if he throws for 6,000 yards, you didn't hand the ball off to Saquon. That's what they'll say.
Exactly.
Couple more for Ryan Smith, of course, SportsCenter Anchor, legal analyst. He is on his way to SportsCenter 50 States in 50 Days over at the Somerset Baseball Field. I got to ask you, for you as a Philadelphia sports fan, who is more frustrating right now? Is it the Sixers and their constant here's the wall of weird, or is it the Phillies and their, hey, we spent $500 million on these guys and they can't show up in the postseason?
I would say it's a good question if you were talking about the Sixers, because to me, the Phillies, disappointing, but no one comes close to the Sixers. The Flyers don't come close to the Sixers. Like, no one comes close to the Sixers. We have franchise center. I mean, look, I get so frustrated when I talk about them. The funny thing is, Josh, I actually grew up loving the Sixers more than any other team. They are my first, my best, my only to begin with. And then it was the Phillies. And then later on, I've always loved the Eagles, but they kind of were like third growing up for us because we had tickets to Phillies games, we had tickets to Sixers games. And what gets me is this team just seems so disjointed, man. It just seems like the idea of winning a title is not something that's in their DNA. And we just keep putting piece after piece after piece together, going on this process, mortgaging the future now for the present. Before we were mortgaging the present for the future. It's like, I just don't see a way to turn it around. And look, I will always root for the Sixers. I hope that we find a way to turn it around this year. I hope Paul George becomes an all-star again. I hope Joel Embiid plays, 65th? I hope Joel Embiid plays 50 games. I mean, that's ridiculous that I'm even saying that. But it's just I hope that we can get these guys on the court together. And it's but I feel like when I look at the Sixers, I'm looking at a highly optimistic version of a fantasy basketball team is the only way we can win. It's parts that don't necessarily fit. Everybody has to play. And if they all play together on paper, the big three should all get 30 points a game. But they got one ball. And they don't even really show that they can share it. And by the way, they don't even play together because they're never even healthy. So for me, I am just hoping for a turnaround this year, man. The East is wide open. I know there's a lot of hope. Just be healthy. That's my hope for this year, man. If we could be healthy, the frustration will go away a little bit. But right now, it's just year after year after year of this is just awful.
All right, Ryan, before I let you go, parting thought on New Jersey. So, favorite and least favorite thing about New Jersey? Go.
My least favorite is the traffic. Oh, one of the reasons why I don't live there anymore. That's easy. Least favorite has always been the traffic. Favorite thing about Jersey, I mean, it's so ridiculous, just popped in my head. So I lived in Montclair. Montclair is one of my favorite things about Jersey because it's a great place. But the food, man. Montclair has this great Chinese place. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I'd love to give them a shout out. But it's the food in Jersey, man. Especially in the diners, man. And by the way, the place is called T.S. Ma. Amazing if you're ever in Montclair. But the food in Jersey, especially in the diners, top notch. And there are people out there who are not from Jersey who are going to be like, what are you talking about? Look, I'm not saying it's better than a Philly cheesesteak, but I'm saying top notch. All over Jersey, great restaurants, man. I love it.
Love those answers. He's Ryan Smith, of course, SportsCenter 50 States in 50 Days. He is on his way to Somerset, New Jersey for the baseball game today. And, of course, he joined us here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Ryan, appreciate you jumping on. I just got to tell you, you are someone that I've always enjoyed watching on SportsCenter, on Get Up, and all the platforms because, you are someone who is an inspiration to the rest of us. That if you put in the hard work, if you do things the right way, you can go places in this business. So keep up what you're doing because there's a lot of people like myself and others who look at you and saying, see, that guy does it the right way. And we know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Is not a train.
Josh, man, that means so much, man. Thank you for saying that. Hey, man, it's like you said, always say yes. And I'll tell you what, man, I got your advice in my head, man. I will try my best not to screw up this first pitch, even though the fact that I just said that probably means that I will.
Listen, you got to think positive thoughts. If you speak positive, it becomes positive, okay?
I'm a Philly fan, man. I can't help it. All right, but you're right.
Ryan, have a good one, man. Take care.
All right, take care, man.